I would like to call this hearing to order and acknowledge that we are in Treaty One territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe and Innu and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. My name is Carrie Linklater and I am the chairperson for this afternoon. And I am joined to my left by Mr. Robert Krause as a panel member and Ms. Judy Redmond as our third panel member via Zoom. Our secretary this afternoon is Ms. Crystal Harland, and our assessors are Ms. Jennifer Nichols and Ms. Catherine Mendoza. To the Zoom participants of this hearing, please note you are placed in the waiting room until your property is called upon. When it is your turn, you will be admitted into the meeting. I will follow along on the City of Winnipeg's Board of Revision YouTube for the hearing process. Once the host admits you into the hearing, please close or mute your YouTube player. You will then be permitted to speak with respect to your property, and once your hearing is concluded, you may leave the meeting. We will be hearing applications for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. Statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by City Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board. The matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all of the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. This afternoon, we will be hearing items 1 and 6 through 8 on our docket. And Mrs. Harland, if you would please affirm the assessors and the applicant's testimony.
Yes, Madam Chair. I'll start with the assessor who is in the room with us. Would you please stand? Thank you. Would you please state your name?
Catherine Mendoza.
Thank you. Do you affirm that this evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Please be seated.
And we are starting off with,
I'll just.
oh, sure.
Madam Assessor, Ms. Nichols, would you please
Yes.
state?
Jennifer Nichols.
Thank you. Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. I'll affirm the applicants now, Madam Chair,
Yes,
if that's
thank
fine with you. Okay, Ms. Applicant, would you please stand? Would you please state your full name?
Tracy Margaret Chichik.
Thank you. Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Please be seated. Mr. Applicant, would you please stand?
Maurice McNichol?
Thank you. Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Please be seated. Mr. Abbas, would you please state your full name?
Chara Boss.
Thank you. Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Okay, Madam Chair, we're done.
And I'm sorry, madam, I believe you are first. We are looking at 10 Woodcroft Bay.
Yeah. This one, so just, want to sit here? Yes, please, thank you. Right.
I'm sorry, I did not catch your last name.
Chijik.
Jijik?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Ms. Jijik. So the assessor is going to go first. I'm assuming you haven't appeared here before.
Like a long time ago.
Oh, all right. No worries. Ms. Mendoza, this is your property.
No, I am dealing with the last two items.
Oh, all right, then. Thank you. Ms. Nichols, if you would like to proceed then with 10 Watercroft Bay,
Okay.
Woodcroft, excuse me.
Okay. So the subject property, 10 Woodcroft Bay, the roll number is 14095067900. This property is in the Tyndall Park neighborhood. It is a 2 one-story home built in 1986 with an effective year of the same. Total living area is 1,974 square feet. This property has a full basement, which is listed as finished, 1 full bathroom, 2 half bathrooms, 1 shower, air conditioning, a fireplace, a built-in attached garage. The assessed lot size is 11,296 square feet, and it does have the retention pond adjacent to influence. So the current 2025 assessed value is $453,000. So I just wanted to mention before I move on to the comparables that although we do have a finished basement listed for the property, we did reduce the value of this property to take into account some flooding that occurred at the property. And so there is some damage to the basement finish. And so that is something that we have taken into account with the assessed value of $453,000. So the comparables that I've brought today are all in the same neighborhood. They're all in Tyndall Park. They are all 2-story homes, all built in 1987. 3 of the comparables 1, 2, and 4, have a small effective year built of 1992. Comparables 1 and 2 are smaller than the subject property at 1,669 square feet and 1,699 square feet. Comparables 3 and 4 are slightly larger than the subject property at 2,026 square feet and 2,138 square feet. All of the comparables have full basements. Comparables 1, 2, and 4 have finished basements. Comparable 3 does not have a finished basement. All of the comparable properties have 3 to 4 bathrooms, and most of them have showers as well. Comparable number 2 does not have any shower stalls. All the comparable properties have air conditioning, and all of the comparable properties also have garages, although comparables 1 and 2 have detached multiple car garages instead of the attached built-in garage that the subject property has. Comparable 3 also has a sunroom. So in terms of the assessed lot size, you can see here from the comparable sales sheet that comparables 1 and 2 have quite a bit of a smaller lot, as well as they are not backing onto the retention pond. Comparables 3 and 4 have lot sizes that are slightly smaller than the subject property, and they do have the retention pond adjacent land influence. And then finally, just looking at the time adjusted sale prices of the comparable properties, the time adjusted sale prices range from $434,600 up to $554,400. You can see from the time adjusted sale prices that comparables 1 and 2, which are not backing onto the retention pond, are significantly lower than the comparables 3 and 4, which are backing onto the pond and in fact are on the same street as the subject property. And so looking at the time adjusted sale prices of the comparables that I was able to find in the same neighborhood, and 2 of them in fact on the same street as subject property, I do think that the assessed value of $453,000 is actually quite a bit lower than the 2 properties that are on the retention pond, that have the retention pond adjacent influence. And it is in fact more in line with the 2 properties that don't have that influence. And so I think that this is taking into account, excuse me, the issues that we know are going on with this property. Thank you.
Do you have any questions to the assessor at this point?
Just in comparison to my property, these houses are all a little newer. Like they're not in comparable year, and 50 Woodcroft Bay is yeah, it's on the retention fund, and they've also they have all of the finished pond area with gravel and pads, and I have bulrushes. Like it's a different, it's more the elite
Lori,
corner.
this is giving evidence. If you just have a question about what the assessor said,
Oh. Nope. Not no.
that's fine.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Ms. Redmond, do you have any questions to the assessor?
Sorry, I couldn't get my microphone on. What would the difference be in the damage that's done from the flooding? Is there quite a bit of adjustment made on that?
What the reduction in the value is?
Yes, or is that a model kind of calculation?
Let me just double check to make sure that I have the right information for you. So the value was actually reduced manually by another staff member after reviewing the comparable sales and taking into account the issues with the property. She manually reduced the value to this value.
Do you have a figure that was allowed for that, or is that relevant in this?
I can just trying to get there.
Ms. Nichols, are you able to access this information?
Yeah, my apologies. It's taking just a few minutes here. Just have to go into the other system that we have here. Okay, so it looks like the original 2025 property value was 493,000.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep.
And is that all your questions?
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, and Mr. Nix?
I have no questions at this time.
Thank you. So your office then had communication with the applicant, correct?
We did.
Okay. Was this done by yourself, Ms. Nichols?
It was not. No, it was not.
Okay. By a supervisor then, I'm assuming?
Not by a supervisor, just by another staff member.
All right, okay, and just a question on your brief, you've got, in regards to the garage, you've got, it says built in.
Right. So
Did
that just, yeah, so built-in just refers to, so it's an attached garage, but instead of sticking out in front of the house, it's inset kind of into the house, if that makes sense.
Thank you, that's all my questions. And if you would like to proceed,
Okay, in addition to the flooding, I've also submitted some issues with the sidewalks all cracking from, I've got a chronic problem with something digging under my stairs and now it's collapsed my sidewalk, but I also submitted evidence of that, and also the bathrooms are all unfinished. They gutted the basement bathroom, but also I have the upstairs bathrooms that aren't finished and later, they're all disconnected. And I've submitted evidence of that too. So the comparable properties to mine, I guess when my house is finished, to compare, but right now it's unusable space.
anything else or?
And I submitted the also the from the flood, the quotes from the company of insurance. Hired, and also that there's been some sinking on the property, and I also submitted from a roofing company that damages all the stucco around the roof area that's starting to collapse and the chimney.
Ms. Nichols, did you have any questions to the applicant?
Yes, I do have some questions. Thank you. Okay, so I guess I did review the evidence that was submitted. And so I guess maybe I'd just like to start with the basement. So just looking through the pictures that were submitted of the basement. So it looks like the company, I believe you said that was hired by an insurance, by your insurance. It looks like they've kind of done the removal part. Are they, or when are they coming? Are they coming to like finish the job and kind of put everything back together at some point?
No, because I chose to take the money out, right, because they said that they would only put back the insulation and the drywall, and the insurance company, like the car was destroyed, but they said because it wasn't sewer water, they're not gonna cover me for the carpet, which I have to remove. They just pulled it away from the walls and took out the underpad. But it's full of stains and it's no longer, like the finish is horrible, so I'm just gonna be ripping it out. And I'm shopping for flooring.
Okay.
Yeah, all the trim, and they disconnected the baseboards and electrical all around the wall boards for and everything because of mold factors. They took out all the solutions and stuff like that. And they took out the flooring in the office and the bathroom and capped off the pipes and removed the vanity. It's just from the wall. I have to still dispose of it. It's I got to there. So
Okay. Yeah, I think I see that picture here. Okay, so they're not coming back. So this is just the basement will be in this state until you, I
Yeah.
guess, take. Okay. And are you planning to do that in the near future?
Yes, so the first step is I'm getting quotes right now for the insulation. First off, because of winter coming too, I need to get that done right away. And then I'll just try to hammer away at this with different contractors because the insurance company said I'd have to hire a lawyer to appeal. So the quote that they were gonna give Service Master was a lot more than what they gave me in the payout, so I'm just hunting right now to get that done. The goal was to finish off the bathrooms this fall. I wasn't expecting this to flood, so it's a lot of hammering what I'm trying to get done in there, but. And then, of course, the stucco right away too before winter.
Okay. Okay, so I guess that kind of leads me to my next question. I did also see the photo of the where the roof, where there's like a crack or a separation just under the roof line. So is that the current condition of the home?
Yeah.
Okay. And was that related to the leaking in the basement? Or
Well, I called the roofing company because I was getting water pouring through the door in the basement and that's what sparked them going up there and finding that. They're telling me that the house settled and some of my shingles were pushing up. And they're saying that the house is moving and that's why I'm getting these problems. So they can't fix it, so I have to look for a stucco person myself. And I've had the stucco repaired once already, but they're saying that there's significant more settling in the house and I need to get more of a an extensive stucco repair job now. Plus, they were suggesting taking out the chimney, but there's a wood fireplace there, so I have to get that fixed because it's not taking up the fireplace.
okay. So I just to clarify the settling which caused the cracking near the roof there, that was the cause, that did end up being the cause of the flooding?
No, the cause of the flooding was, it was from the line cracked to the toilet and was overnight pouring water in the basement.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you for
And there were
clarifying.
two drains in the next room over, but for some reason the house slopes down and it was like a foot of water in that part of the house.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. Okay, and then so you mentioned that the house was settling. Is it just like a small amount of settling, or is there any signs that there's significant shifting and foundation issues happening?
Well, it was all new to me when he went up on the roof and told me this, so that's what I've submitted what his quote was and his assessments, and I guess I do hear like loud thumps in the walls and stuff at night, so I'm assuming things are moving, but I'm not I don't know yet, until I don't know. I just know that there
Okay.
was part coming in and he said it was from that, so.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, and then as for the rest of the house, so I know there's the bathrooms which are sort of they're in a state of like partial renovation, and then the issue with the basement. But what about the rest of the house? Have there been renovations in the kitchen, for example, or flooring throughout the rest of the house?
Have just, yes, I have, what do you call, linoleum in my kitchen and, hardwood in the rest of the house. And linoleum in the, main floor, half bath. The, ensuite is, there's nothing attached there to use. It's nothing, but that bathroom isn't, usable, and same with the upstairs, bath is not functional either because the toilet's cracked, so I had to shut off. Well, I submitted photos of there's no taps and the tub isn't usable right now. There is the toilet, so that bathroom is not being used. And my basement is a half finished basement. The other half is unfinished, like mud area. It's just sectioned off. There, and there was a tax assessor in my house to review all of that 2 years ago, and they put that in my file, I think, somewhere.
Okay. And then what about kitchen cupboards and counters? Have those been replaced?
The kitchen cupboards were, yes, however, when I hired the person to put in my cabinets, he damaged them all, so they're gonna have to be replaced again. I don't have shelves in the cupboards and I don't have, they're all very damaged. He was using drywall screws instead of wood screws, and that's another problem right now.
Okay. Okay. I don't think I saw any photos of the kitchen. Were there any included?
I didn't even bother with it. They saw it before and it's just such a disaster. I didn't think of that when I was focusing more on the bathrooms, and because
Okay.
I'm still using the cupboards, they're still usable. They're there. They're just not
Right. Yeah.
great. It's not very appealing.
Okay. Thank you. And then I just had my last questions were just related to the 3 comparable properties that you mentioned at the end of the letter that you had written.
Yeah.
So I guess I was just wondering if you, I guess first of all, did you make a note of what the time adjusted sale prices for each of these properties were?
Yeah. I did. So 51 Lavender Bay was 420, it sold for, it was listed at 425, 200, and it sold for 397. And that one looks pretty comparable to my house inside, actually, with all finished, of course, though. And 70 Linden Park Bay was listed at 455 and it sold for 447, 300. It was pretty comparable, except it had an updated gas fireplace and mine's wood. And 78 Works Bay is well, 14 years newer, but it sold at 451,000 with the time adjusted sale of 415, 800. It was built in 2000 and a little bit bigger, 1,985 square feet.
Okay. And do you know what the size of the first two properties is?
Yeah. 51. Maybe the one piece I'm gonna bring. Oh, I had it. I think they were very close. Well, I don't think I got that one. I have the roll numbers. I have to look them up again.
Okay. Okay, no worries. Um, okay, so and then the other question I had was, do you know if these comparable properties, are they in the same like area as your property? Are they in Tyndall Park?
Yeah, Market Region 3, and they were from the 2021 sales.
Okay. So in Market Region 3, but not necessarily in Tyndale Park then? Like Tyndale Park is a small area, is like a kind of a near, like we call it a neighborhood area. So it's like an area within Market Region 3.
Yes, they're just a few streets over. 51 Lavender Bay isn't very far from my house. Same with Linden Park Bay. It's on the other side of the pond.
Okay. So 51 Lavender Bay, I'm just looking at on a map here. So unless there's more than one. 51 Lavender Bay seems to be near Jefferson Avenue. Is that the same?
Oh, sorry.
Uh,
I think of maybe Lawrence. Oh, and my one people, I didn't. That's very, yeah, is that not, you don't count that considerable to my area?
it's in the same market region, just a different kind of neighborhood, I guess we would say. Okay, so and then my last question was just regarding the retention pond influence. Are any of these properties on a pond?
No.
Okay. Okay, thank you. That was all the questions that I had.
Thank you. Mr. House.
Yeah, I was just wondering, so the initial flooding was a result of a pipe bursting in the basement.
Yeah.
And is that due to the settling or is that just was a,
No, that was
I learned that the plastic attachment that goes to the toilet, and they're finding, the plumber that came to replace it said they're having a lot of problems with them cracking, and it was about 7 years old. Cause I had replaced the old one that was there, and he said it's just one of those things, so I asked if they could replace it with a metal ended piece, and he said they don't make them like that.
Yeah.
So I've purchased water sensors now.
And do you have a price that you are thinking of for your assessment?
Yeah, I was looking at these finished houses and what they've come down with, and I was just hoping for a little less right now until I can get things repaired. To bring my house up to that market, so I was hoping for around maybe like 418.
Those are all.
Thank you. And any questions, Ms. Redmond?
No, all my questions have been answered already. Thank you very much.
All right. I just have one question. What do you think all these repairs will be about?
Well, the insurance company said I have to have the basement completed to what was damaged by my renewal date, which is the July 1st, the first week in July. So I have to submit evidence of that to them to have my renewal. So that is the priority right now. And then problem is I use the tub in the basement. So I have to get one of the bathrooms done upstairs so that I can place the wash. So I'm trying to get that done too. So that'll be the first two things next to the stucco, which is going to be this week. And the insulation, hopefully. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I just wanted some clarification on the bathroom. There's some issues with your bathroom on the main floor or the second floor?
The upstairs has 2 bathrooms, and they're both, I hired a company to put in a bathtub, and what they did was they cut roughly like the old tub out, and then they pulled up all of the subfloor underneath by yanking out the tub. So all of that flooring has to come out because it's just squeaky and boggy. There's no more support under it. I don't know what they did there. They also cut through the wall in the bedroom on the other side. When I turned on the tub, I can hear leaking. And I had the floor cut, the ceiling cut into in the living room to check out the plumbing underneath. And I had my carpenter that was there, he soldered a new piece in. But when the taps were leaking and I had that removed, there was more sounds coming through the wall somewhere. So I still have to get all that checked out yet, because just waiting to get some quotes to get somebody in there. So I don't end up with a lot of damages. And the toilet was making sounds, and I noticed there's a crack, so I just shut it off.
Oh, okay, thank you. Well, you'll be hearing from the board in a couple of weeks, and such a miserable day. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay. It will be going to our next property, which is 620 South Drive.
I'm just letting the applicant in, Madam Chair. And I'll send him an email.
And Ms. Nichols, I understand this is also your property.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Afternoon, Mr. Abbas.
Good afternoon.
So Ms. Nichols, whenever you are ready.
Okay, thank you. So the subject property is 620 South Drive. Roll number is 0309122750. This property is a vacant lot, in Wildwood. It is it has an assessed lot size of 18,000 square feet, and it is on the river side of South Drive, so it does have the Red River adjacent influence as well as bus route and light traffic. The current 2026 assessed value of the property is $802,000. So the comparables that I brought today are also vacant properties. They range in size from 7,500 square feet up to 23,000 square feet. The comparables 1 and 2 are in Crescent Park, which is an adjacent neighborhood to Wildwood. And so both of these properties, comparables 1 and 2, have commercial adjacent influence as well as Red River adjacent and regional park. These properties sold for a time adjusted sale price of $500,500. Comparables 3 and 4 are in the same neighborhood as the subject property. They're both in Wildwood. They're both on South Drive. The lot sizes are a little bit larger than the subject property, and they have the same land influences, except for comparable number 3 also has bus stop. The time adjusted sale prices of comparables 3 and 4 are $921,800 and $1,216,200. I'm just going to go to my notes here. I know I had made a couple of notes regarding these sales. So comparable number 4, there was a house on the property when it sold, but it sold as land value only, and the house was demolished shortly after it was purchased. Comparable number 3 was a private sale, but it has sold on MLS less than a year prior to this sale and was then resold by a builder as a vacant lot, and the house was ultimately demolished after the sale as well. Comparables 1 and 2, also both private sales, but that had been listed on MLS as vacant lots. And these 2 lots, you can see from the assessed lot size, these are smaller lots, so they are significantly more narrow than the subject property. So looking at the range in sale prices here, these are all properties that are on the river, all properties that are in the same or adjacent neighborhoods, so all similar in terms of location. And the sale prices are ranging from just over $500,000 up to $1,216,000. And I do think that the subject property at $802,000 is within a reasonable range for the value. Thank you.
Did you have any questions to the assessor, Mr. Abbas?
Yes, Madam Chair, I do. Thank you. So I'm looking at COM 3 and COM 4. In particular, Ms. Assessor, can you confirm these lots are serviced lots?
I don't have specific information about whether they currently have services going to these lots right now.
Okay. But on COM 4, there was a house built. So is it fair to assume that it would be a serviced lot?
It would have been when the house was there for sure. Yeah.
Okay. And then my next question would be, do you know what are the frontages on COM 3 and COM 4?
I don't have information on the frontages of these properties.
Okay. Would you agree that if it's the frontages, if it has a larger front, then it would sell for higher price?
I'm not sure if I could agree to that necessarily.
Okay. And then my next question would be regarding the land influences on the first 2 properties. The first two comparables are river adjacent and regional park adjacent. And those 2 are significantly major value drivers. would you agree that they would be affecting the value to go, I mean, would they be affecting the value significantly on towards the higher side than our subject property that only has a river adjacent influence?
I think probably there would be additional value to the regional park. I don't know if it would be that significant. You know, it's
Okay.
considering that the subject property does have Red River adjacent, same as the two comparables.
Okay. And then do you happen to know regarding comp 1 and comp 2, it says they are commercial, they have a commercial adjacent influence. Do you know what are they commercially adjacent to?
I don't know.
No.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I might be able to answer that. No, okay, step away.
Those were all my questions, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. Ms. Redmond, any questions to the assessor?
No, I have no questions at this time.
Thank you. Mr. Brett.
No questions at this time.
Ms. Nichols, just, I wasn't sure I was clear on your comp 3. Did you say there was a house there and it's been demolished?
Let me just go back to my notes here.
Because 4 had a house, correct?
Correct. Yes, it had a, it did have a house on it, and the house was demolished shortly after the sale.
Right. And sorry, and 3?
Yes, both comparables 3 and 4.
Okay. And do you know if currently building has started on a new residence on either of those properties?
I'm not too sure if building has already started. I'm not sure.
Okay. And on the subject property, had there been a home on that land and it was demolished?
Probably at some point. I think it's been gone for a while, though. I didn't make a note of when exactly it became a vacant lot.
Okay. And so to the best of your knowledge, when a house is demolished on a lot, services are still existing?
Services are available to the lot, to the best of my knowledge, for all of the properties. Yeah.
Right, okay, thank you. I have no further questions. Mr. Abbas, would you like to present your evidence, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. Our subject property's address is 620 South Drive. Roll number is 0309122750. The lot size is 18,000 square feet. The 2025-2026 assessment is at $802,000. Our requested assessment for 2026 is $630,000. If I may request the board to scroll down all the way to page number 10 of the PDF document. I have presented, I'm presenting 4 comparables that are all on the same street as South Drive. Now, I tried my best to stay on the same street. South Drive in the Wildwood neighborhood is a prime location. It's a prime street. So my idea while I was looking for comparables was to try my best to stay on the same street. I do acknowledge that these are older sales, but given that it's a lot and it can be difficult to find land sales, these were the closest and the best comparables that I could find. The first one is 555 South Drive. The area is 12,164 square feet. It was sold on December 19th of 2017 for a price of $320,000, which comes to $26.31. And it has a park influence, bus route, and light traffic. And the frontage of this property is at 100 feet, which is 25 feet larger than our subject property. The second comparable is 596 South Drive. The area is 27,295 square feet. It was sold July 18th, 2017 the sale price was 770,000 at price per square foot of $28.21. This property has a river influence, just like our subject property, and the frontage is 109 feet. The third comparable is 759 South Drive. The lot area is 12,785 square feet. It was sold on September 8, 2020 for $388,888. And the price per square foot comes to $30.42. This property has side influences of to be on the bus route. It has a bus stop close to it, and an influence of being towards the lighter traffic, and it also has a larger frontage at 100 feet. The fourth comparable that I have is 790 South Drive. It is significantly larger than our subject property at 61,268 square feet. It was sold on October 3rd, 2019 for $800,000. The price per square foot is significantly low due to the size of it at $13.06. But this property is also on the river. It has a river adjacent influence, and it has a significantly larger frontage. The main reason I chose this lot again was because it was on the river, and it is on the same street as well. So given the 4 comps that I have, all those 4 comps have larger frontages. 2 of them are on the river as our subject property. 1 is on a park. I've looked at all the comps. I've looked at the sale prices. I've tried to time adjust the sale prices myself. I would just like to point out an error that is on the table over there. The time adjusted sale price per square foot column on that table. That column is as of April 1, 2021. I have adjusted them to April 1, 2023 based on the overall increase in the market region. I do have the new prices and price per square foot. If the board would want, I can provide them right now. For the first comparable, the total price.
You give it
Can
to
I
us,
carry?
could you give it to us verbally, Mr. Abbas?
Yeah, I am giving it to you verbally. For the first comparable, the price would be $366,240. And the price per square foot would be $30.01, or we can round it off to $30. For the second one, it would be $885,920. Price per square foot would be $32.45 per square foot. For the third one, it would be $436,464, and price per square foot would be $34.13. For the fourth one, it would be $902,272, and the price per square foot would be $14.72. So after looking at all the 4 comparables and keeping in mind that our lot is unserviced as well, I talked to the owner and he mentioned that the subject lot is unserviced, and it has a significantly smaller frontage compared to other lots on that street. I am requesting the board for revised assessment value of $630,000, which comes at $35 per square foot. And that's it for my presentation.
All right, thank you, Mr. Abbas. Ms. Nichols, did you have any questions?
I do have some questions. Thank you. So I guess you've already actually answered some of the questions that I had, which were pertaining to the year of the sales, as a lot of the sales are older sales. I guess my first question would just be, were you able to find any sales on the the same street of the subject property that were maybe closer to the reference date of April 1st, 2023?
So to answer that, I couldn't find any other sale on the same street. The third comparable that you have provided, 604 South Drive, was a private sale. I couldn't find that sale on Matrix. So I couldn't dive into that sale or get any information on that sale. That's why I was reluctant in using that sale. 620, and then the other one that has been included in today's presentation is 622 South Drive. That lot had a property and it sold with the house on it. Even though on Matrix it said that that property sold as a land value, but there were no other pictures provided for the house. Other than those two sales, I couldn't find any other sales on South Drive.
Okay. And so I'm just looking at, I guess, the first comparable, 555 South Drive, as well as 759 South Drive. I'm noting that those properties do not have Red River adjacent, so they're on the opposite side of the street from the subject property. Would you agree that Red River adjacent would be a positive influence on the subject property?
It would be a positive influence on the subject property.
Okay, thank you. And I do think that that's reflected in the sale prices of comparables 1 and 3 versus comparables 2 and 4. And so I think that was kind of it for my questions regarding the comparables that you brought today. My only other question was regarding, you mentioned that the subject lot is unserviced. I wonder if you could just expand on that a little bit and explain what you mean by unserviced. It's not, like no services will be available at that lot, or what?
No services are available at as of now on this lot. No electrical services or water services are available at this lot right now. That's what I meant. Like no hydro lines are there as per the owners.
Okay.
So he would have to request, I think, to get that work done.
Okay, so it's not that the lot cannot be serviced, it just doesn't have
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay, thank you for clarifying. That was all the questions I had.
Thank you, Ms. Nichols. Ms. Regnant, any questions?
No, all my questions were answered already. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kraus.
No questions, thank you.
So, Mr. Voss, just another question regarding this lot. Just for clarification, was there never a house on this lot?
And I'm sure as long as I've gone back in time and I've seen this lot, I've looked at the last 5 years data on this lot, and I don't remember there was a house in the last 5 years. I'm not sure about before that, but since the last 5 years, there was no lot. There was no house on this lot.
Okay. Thank you. I have no further questions, and thank you for hearing this afternoon. I would like to call this hearing back to order, and we are going to be now moving on to 30 Lake Crest Road. Yes, Mendoza, you'll be those next two properties. Yes. Right. Good afternoon, Mr. Mendoza. So whenever you're ready to start us off.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. Subject roll number is 0306-814-2100. The address is Unit 1103 at 30 Lake Crest Road in the Waverly Heights neighborhood. The building style is an apartment style building built in 1985 with an effective year built of 1991, which had flooring renovations. It's located on the first floor of a 3-story walk-up building. It's 666 square feet, has 1 bedroom, located in an interior location, has 1 full bathroom, has a wall air conditioning, has 1 fireplace, has an in-suite laundry, has a patio, has 1 outdoor parking, and has a view of heavy traffic. The current assessment of the property is $143,000 for a total assessment assessment per square foot of $214.71. As per conversations with the homeowner, there are flooring issues with the unit. It's based on, according to the evidence that has been provided based on the photos that we've submitted to you. You can see clearly on the photos on page 4, as well as the last page, correct, page 4 and page 9. You can see the sloping on the floor. So I am recommending to reduce the value of the assessment to the board at $124,000 or $186.19 per square foot to better reflect the market value change and to acknowledge the issues on the floor, on the unit.
All right, thank you. Mr. Mendoza, are you going to accept this recommendation?
Yes,
Yes.
my support because
Oh,
Mendoza,
I'm sorry.
fine. So one sec. So you recommended 129 previously, right?
Yes,
And now you're reducing it to 124.
correct.
I would say this it makes more sense, but I already here and I want to present the case and you will decide because what's happened is the original assessment was 140 something, right? The one that was sent.
143,000.
Yeah, and then we talked and I sent the documents and Catherine said it's gonna be 129. I said, I think it's too much. So now this information 124 is something new for me. I never heard before. Okay, so I will present and I will show you that. Well, if
Let's proceed.
yes, please, but it's
Okay.
definitely closer to what should be, and you will decide. But I'll show you the idea. Okay,
That's
so how it goes? We'll proceed.
we'll proceed, yes.
Okay.
Would you like me to present the comparable sales?
Yes.
Okay. I'm presenting to you today for comparable sales. I acknowledge that these sales are a little bit older and because there are limited comparable sales that are available to us with this type of 3-story walk-up. So I had to get sales that are a little bit older. However, I believe that these sales are comparable to the subject property. So the year bullet ranges for the comparable sales between 1974 to 1988. Comparable 4 has a different effective year built of 1979, which means it had also renovations done to the flooring. These are 3-story walk-up buildings, similar to our subject property. The living area of the comparables ranges between 599 to 708 square feet. All of the comparable sales have 1 bedroom. The location for comparable 1 and 3 are in the corner location, while comparables 2 and 4 are interior location. All of the comparable sales have 1 full bathroom, have wall AC, have fireplaces, except for comparable 4. All comparables 1, 2, and 3 also have in-suite laundry, while comparable 4 does not. Comparables 1 and 2 have a patio as it's located on the 1st floor of the building. Comparable 3 has a balcony, and as well as comparable 4 has a patio. All of the comparable sales have 1 outdoor parking, and the view feature varies between the parking lot and the interior view. So comparables 1, 2, and 3 do not have renovations done to them, so they are original. So the sale prices for the comparable sales ranges between $107,000 to $133,000. The sale price per square foot ranges between $151.13 to $220.37. The time adjusted sale price ranges between $116,200 to $144,800. The time adjusted sale price per square foot ranges between $164.12 to $223.46. And like I mentioned previously, I'm recommending to reduce the value to $124,000. That's all. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Did you have any questions of what the assessor has just presented?
Yeah. I would ask if you agree that when a property facing a major road with a patio leading to this huge road, it's reduced the value of the property.
Yes, I agree.
Would you agree with when a property with the structural defects will reduce the value of property?
Yes, I agree.
That's it.
Thank you. And Ms.
And there
Redmond,
is a mistake I have to correct. If it's
that's
okay.
a, when you give your evidence, it's fine. Ms. Redmond, any questions to the assessor?
No, I have no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Krause.
No, I have questions, thank you.
Just one, did you inspect this property?
No, I did not, but however, I did ask the homeowner for inspection, because due to the unavailability of between the tenant schedule and our schedule. I had asked for photos instead.
Okay. And do you think you will be inspecting it in future sometime?
I would like to, if the tenant, is available.
All right, thank you. If you would like to proceed with your presentation.
Yeah. Thank you. So first correction, there is no fireplace. I know on the photo it looks like, but it's been blocked long time ago and it's just electrical piece, like $100 electrical thing that you might even see a electrical plug on the photo. So it's not a fireplace. It's been originally, but as in many units, they blocking them. So there's no fireplace. Okay, so what I would like to present is this. So when we compare properties, we always try to look for comparables that make sense, that gonna be similar, but we always have to take a look at the specific, unique situation of this particular property. In this case, two major things. First of all, it's facing the huge road, and the patio is basically leading to this huge road. There is like a decorative wall between the property and the road, but still, when you're there, you're basically on the street. It's way already there, so it's a huge one. And the other major thing is the structural issue. And I would love the assessor to come to the place, but it's always have to be coordinated with the tenants, and it was a bit difficult. So I sent the photos and asked them, please take photos from a floor level, because you can see the huge gap difference on a tiny space. So when you can see a drop of like 2 or 3 inches on 2 or 3 feet, you can see what it is. And this property is, when you enter in, you feel it right away. And this is the main reason for it to be lower in price and therefore lower in value than other similar properties. What I showed on my statement here is that the property was, first of all, listed at 159.9, way too much. Price was reduced to 149.9, 133.9, 139.9, 129.9, 129.5, and then I purchased 116, which basically shows that nobody been willing to pay that price, and the agent as well as the client got the idea and been able to sell it for more reasonable price. I would like to also refer to the comparables that have been brought by the assessor. So comparable in the same building is a good comparable. The only thing is that, again, the information that you provide is not right. There is the kitchen not updated and the bathroom being updated. I have the pictures. I'm also a broker, so I have the access to all information. So the pictures of that 1102 Lake Crest shows that the kitchen is newer and bathroom is newer. Flooring is newer and painted. So I would say two things. It's a great comparable, but it's in a better shape and they don't have the structural problem. And this is why you can see the difference of what it is. Because when somebody steps into the unit and they fall down, they don't want to proceed. Okay. I will also say the comparable 2 and 3 are not suitable comparables. Comparable 2 is in Lindenwoods and not facing the street. You can't compare Lindenwoods in this location to a property that I have with facing a major road. So it's completely different areas, although it's physically not very close, not very far away. It's completely different, as well as that house. It's a different area, no exposure to a main road, not a good comparable. But comparable number 4 is an amazing comparable because it sits on the main floor close to a different heavy road, which is Kenaston, which is size-wise very similar to Waverly. It's also on the main floor. It's also and then you can see that actually it's bigger in size. It's 708 square feet, where my unit is 666 square feet, and it's been sold with the adjusted time value. The adjusted time value being presented is 116. Basically, the price I paid for my unit, but my unit is smaller. So based off those comparables and what I see on the market and how the unit presents itself and looks, I think the price I paid is actually a fair price. Now, can we agree somewhere in the middle? Of course we can. And again, you know what, if the price of 124 was presented to me over the email, I think it's still a little high, but it's not as high as it was originally. So I might not even come here, but I'm already here, already prepared for that and made all of the work. So I think it should go closer to 116. I'm done. Yeah.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yes, I do. Do you have any plans on fixing the flooring issues?
Not at the moment because it's a major thing. You can't just fix it. It's basically, you have to take a special material and pour it all over the floor. It's a huge expense. It's gonna when you do that, you have to redo everything because you have to lift all the cabinets, it's insane. So no. And I bought it cheaper, knowing that the value of the unit is cheaper, but
And do you acknowledge that the sale for the property is considered a post-reference sale, meaning it's happened after the reference date of April 1st, 2020?
yes, yeah.
And when you mentioned about my comparable number 4, that it's slightly larger than your unit, do you also acknowledge that it is also 11 years older than your property at 1985?
Yes, but I would add that condo buyers, and I sell them every day, don't care if the building is 10 years older. They care about the condition of the unit and the location, all the other amenities. You can often see buildings that have been built in 1924 sell units for more money than in 1990. So yes, of course, but I would say it's not gonna affect the value. The 10 years will not affect the value.
And with regards to the electric fireplace, did you purchase this?
No, it was there. It's an insert. It's not a fireplace. It's the build out is probably from the original fireplace that you used to have. It's blocked, and they have just a small insert. So no, I never purchased it. Was
Oh. And you mentioned that it is facing heavy traffic. I mean the patio, so the fence going around it is right behind the fence is.
behind, but the fence is not a full fence. So the fence is separating the road from the property, but on this side it's open. So you can see the road, you can hear the road, and it's there.
Okay, so would you say that the patio is directly by the fence, or there's like a little bit of a?
There's space to the fence. Yeah, the common element, like, because the patio is for the use of the unit, and it's basically like 5 feet deep, and then there's a sod, which is the element of the building. It's not belong to the unit.
That's all the questions I had.
Thank you. Ms. Redmond, any questions to the applicant?
Yes, I do. You mentioned that I think it was Victor Lewis, the comparable number
3.
2,
2, yeah.
was in Linden Woods. Why do you feel that's different? Is it the type of neighborhood? Is it?
Yeah, I will explain. So, like as a background, I'm selling houses and condos all day. It's my job. Linden Woods unit located in close proximity to houses that sell for 7, 8, and 900,000. It's literally minutes away walking. So, as a value of a property established also by the neighboring properties. When a property neighboring to you is closer to 800,000, and then the property neighboring to Lake Crest is close to 354, it's a huge difference in the area.
Okay, and my second question is about the comment about the noisy road. Do you feel the road traffic on that road has increased over the last 10 years, for example?
Of course, it's a huge area that's been built. This road leading to Bridgewater Forest, lakes, trails, and Beverly West. So 10 years ago, there wasn't much traffic. Now it's non-stop traffic, and it's connected to the perimeter as well.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have to ask. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you know what the cause of the floor?
Great question. I think it's the joist slope. Going down sloping is never open. I don't have an access to underneath because it's a common element of the building. No clue. But my assumption, I'm not a structural engineer, something is sinking down there.
This is a condo, right? Or is it a?
Yeah.
So then it would come out of the condo.
It's a good point, but I asked the corporation because the corporation have to do the reserve fund study every 5 years. And the last one was done 4 years ago, and they said, we don't know anything. I said, well, what do you mean you don't know? It's here, right? So yeah, but we're gonna probably discover it in the next study. So it's possible the next study gonna show that, and maybe all the buildings, all the building gonna something happen to the value, but it's something that's probably gonna happen in the future, not right?
Do you know the comp number one, which is in the same building?
Yes.
Does it have similar?
No,
locations?
because what's happening is I think it's on the other side. So my unit is this and that, and my side is lagging. Now I haven't been in the other unit, but what I see is when I look at the way I see the floor is I look under the doors, right? And you see, so my door, when you stand in the hallway, you can see that, the other one not.
Thank you. Those are all my questions.
So I just wanted some clarification on the fireplace. Was it originally a wood burning or was it always electric?
I have no clue if it was wood burning or maybe gas. I see that nice build out, right? But there's nothing that is blocked. And then the city chill. So many condos over the years, because it's cost them a lot to maintain and to do that, they've been built that way, but over time they just decided, it doesn't worth the effort and the money, let's block it. So some units block it and they have the picture there, some block it and put like a small electrical insert just or whatever.
Okay, were you talking about the road traffic?
Yeah.
You're talking about Waverly?
Yeah.
Okay. And you yourself have purchased this condominium?
Yes.
Right, so it's a rental? Okay. How much are you getting on the rent?
12 or so, 12.50.
12.50. Okay. And did you get an estimate on the pricing?
Sorry?
Yes.
No.
You just.
I know it's a huge project because like I said, it's not just the flooring, it's basically you have to redo everything.
Yes.
So as long as it's standing, because like you mentioned, it's a condo thing, so if it's gonna keep going down, the building have to deal with it, I have to deal with it because I have to redo my finishes and stuff, because even if the building gonna at the wrong cost fix the structure, I'm the one still have to fix all of the units.
Right, okay, sorry, and this condo is on the main floor of
Yes.
this building, correct? Right. And it's on the outside?
The balcony is towards the road, facing the road. The balcony, the patio.
Right, thank you, that's all my questions. Okay. We will move on to. Unit, this is unit. 50 Mount Crescent.
One sec, one.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Subject roll number is 1202-3200-600. The unit number is unit 110 at 250 Wellington Crescent, located in Macmillan neighborhood. The building style is an apartment style building built in 1964, has an effective year built of 1979, which means it had renovations over the years. It's located on the first floor of a five-story building. Has a living area of 633 square foot. Has one bedroom located in an interior location of the building. Has one full bathroom, has central AC. And has a view feature of the traffic and is also has an influence of the lobby area. As mentioned, it has been completely renovated based on the 2005 MLS description and based on the photos of the 2010 listing as well. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to share the photos for that property. The total assessment for this property is $146,000 with a total assessment per square foot of $230.65. Due to the subject's renovations and being Due to the subject's renovations and based on the location of the property being a heavy traffic, as mentioned by the owner, and has an influence of the lobby area. I am recommending to reduce the value from $146,000 to $135,000 or at $213.27 per square foot.
Thank you. Mr. Mendico?
Questions?
Nope. Are you willing to accept? She's just.
Oh, no,
offered you-
no, this is the one, no,
You want to proceed?
yes, please.
All right, okay. Okay.
I'm presenting to you 5 comparable sales to date. All are apartment style buildings. Comparable 1 is located in the same condo complex as the subject property, while comparables 2 to 5 are located just pretty close by the subject property. All our apartment style buildings, the effective year built ranges between 1913 to 1964. And the effective year built ranges between 1961 to 1986. And these are also low-rise buildings. Comparable number 1 located on the 2nd floor of the 5th-story building. Comparable 2 on the 1st floor. Comparable 3 located on the basement, as you see, 0 up to base floor count. Comparable 4 also on the 1st floor, as well as comparable number 5. The living area of the comparable sales ranges between 594 to 638 square feet. The bedroom count for comparables 2 and 3 have 2 bedrooms, while comparables 1, 4, and 5 have 1. Comparable 3 and 4 are on the corner location of that building, while comparables 1, 2, and 5 are in an interior location. All comparable sales have 1 full bathrooms. And comparable number 1 has a central AC similar to the subject property, while comparables 2 to 5 have no AC. All comparable sales have no fireplaces and no in-suite laundry. Comparables 1 and 2 have a feature of patio and deck, while comparables 3, 4, and 5 do not. And with regards to the parking, comparable 1 has an indoor parking, which is assigned by the condo corporation. Comparable 2 has an outdoor parking, and comparable 3 does not, and comparable 4 and 5 also have indoor parking. Based on the effective year built of the comparable sales, there have been renovations done to most of the comparable sales, except for comparable number 1, and that's sold in August 2020. I acknowledge that this comparable sale is just 2 years, happened 2 years ago, not 2 years ago, I would say 3 years compared to the reference date of April 1st, 2023. But this sold as an original unit and is facing the parking lot. The sale price of the comparable sales ranges between $130,000 to $143,000. The sale price per square foot ranges between $211.04 to $240.74. The time adjusted sale price per square foot ranges between $127,000 to $153,100. And the time adjusted sale price per square foot ranges between $206.17 to $248.65. As mentioned, the subject property has an inferior location. However, considering the actual year built in each of the property as compared to some of the comparable sales that I presented, I am recommending to reduce the value to $135,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you have any questions to the assessor?
I would like to ask you, how do you know about the renovations? You said that the effective year built is 1979. Where did you get the information from?
1979. It's based on the renovations or the description on the 2005 MLS listing, which mentioned the unit has been completely renovated.
I seen that listing and it says, but there is no photos. On the other hand, I sent my photos that showing original parquet flooring, original old kitchen, and original bathroom. I would say the original old doors that you have this unit, except of paint, nothing been done there. So a statement saying, it's just wrong, and you can see it from my photos. And I can tell you because I know what material being used in what construction year, and you can see it from there. Okay, would you agree that when you buy a condo, an amount of the condo fees will affect the purchase price or the value?
Somewhat.
Somewhat. So would you agree that two similar units on two different buildings, where in one you pay a condo fee of $650 and one where you pay $350, the $350 condo fee unit will be way more attractive for the buyer, therefore they're gonna be willing to pay way higher price than for the other unit where they have monthly to pay $300 more.
I can either agree nor disagree.
Would you agree with it?
Neither.
Okay. Would you agree that even though units located in the same building, they can have a completely different value based on different characters?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. I provided a definition of value that I think is correct, and I would like to read it to you. It says the most probable price a property will bring in a competitive and open market with a willing and informed buyer and seller who are not under any undue pressure. Would you agree it's a proper definition of value?
Yes, based on the FAQ on our website, yes, I agree. That's the definition of value.
Now, I provided the description of the history of the property, and I want to put this property for a second aside from all the comparables. And then when I have my time, I'll talk about comparables. But this property been totally on the market for almost 10 months.
Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Oh, sorry, it's a question.
It's just
Sorry,
questions.
my mistake. Sorry about it. Sorry about it. Would you agree that if a property been on the market at a certain price for 10 months, nobody purchased that property, can we say that this price is too high for the property on a reasonable good market that people buy and sell?
I would say neither. I can't agree nor disagree.
So you think that it's possible that the property is on a good market or a fair price for 10 months and nobody buy it?
I can neither agree nor
Gotcha.
disagree.
Okay. Would you agree that the higher the unit located in the building, usually the value and price go up in the apartment blocks?
Sometimes.
Okay. Would you agree that a balcony or a patio adds to property value?
I agree.
Okay. Would you agree that when a buyer looking at a condo, they look in many parameters, but number of bedrooms is one of the most important things how they decide, because a family of two may need one bedroom, family of three may need two. So a number of bedrooms is a critical thing that people look when they look for a property or a condo.
Yes, I agree.
Would you say it's appropriate to compare 2-bedroom units to 1-bedroom units?
Sometimes, however, if it's kind of close to the living area of the subject property, or if it's comparable, then I would kind of ignore it.
Even though it's a major difference in units. It's like comparing a truck and a car.
If the bedroom is like significantly smaller and they would consider it as a den, then I wouldn't consider that as a.
Yeah, I don't have any more questions.
Thank you. Ms. Redmond, do you have any questions?
Just a couple. The indoor parking on 2 of your comparables, I just wondered if that actually adds to the sale price, in your opinion?
I do, yes, however, with the 250 Wellington Crescent, because it's assigned by the corporation, I can't really determine if it adds value. However, for comparable number 4, yes, I would agree that it adds to the value for indoor parking.
Okay, and just one more question. Would a property on Wellington Crescent be looked at more favorably than a property outside of Wellington Crescent? Is the name meaningful to the sale price? Or to the assessed price?
Sorry. Yes, I would agree. However, based on my experience, only the Wellington Crescent properties that are adjacent to the river are slightly more appealing to buyers.
Thank you very much. That's all I have.
I have no question.
Thank you. Just one question, have you given a recommendation on this property?
Yes.
So, and you said this was based on the heavy traffic?
The heavy traffic and the influence of being beside the lobby. As the owner had mentioned, the unit is facing Wellington Crescent. And the canopy where they drop off clients, it's directly facing that portion of the property. So that's why I had to reduce the value down to that value at 130,000.
All right, and this was after speaking with Mr. Benticon?
Yes, correct.
Okay, I'm just curious, is this, I've never had Wellington Crescent designated by the city as heavy traffic. Portage Avenue, Main Street,
Right, yes. So originally on our record, it had a medium traffic influence. However, based on the information that was provided to me by the homeowner, I had to adjust it to heavy traffic as well as add the lobby influence to account for those, for the inferior location and unique location within the condo building. So,
all right,
And I can clarify that.
if you would like to proceed with your evidence.
Yes, please. Okay, so we talked about the definition of value, what value means, and I want to show you what's happened to this unit, and I'll explain why. Okay, so this unit been in total about 10 months on the market. The price that they asked, the original price was 134.9, which is already lower than the proposed value of 135. It's been on the market for 78 days. For this price, expired. Then it went again on the market for 134.9, same price for 146 days, expired. Then it went again on the market for the same price of 134.9 for 74 days and expired. And then after that, they reduced the price to 128.5. And after 30 days, I purchased for $100,000. Okay, so saying that the property worth.
Excuse me, so you're, when did you purchase this property?
On
This year?
yeah,
Okay, so it's a post-reference sale, so we're not gonna discuss this.
but I purchased it now. Okay, so if we can discuss the fact that it's been on the market for 10 months for price under what is proposed and another purchase, I would say it's not the value. And I'll explain why. But nothing gonna be on Winnipeg markets today for 10 months for realistic price without getting an offer sold. It's just not possible. Now, there's few reasons for that. When we compare to the other units, it's just less attractive because we don't have the balcony and stuff, and patio is basically the only way in and out is from the building. But the main thing is, and I want to clarify the point with the heavy traffic. Traffic on Wellington Crescent is same traffic, although it's not the same traffic as where we have the private house. It's way higher traffic where we have the blocks. But what's happening is we have the entrance to the building. So everybody who's coming to the building, not to the parking, driving by that unit. The windows of the unit is basically at the level of the height level. And when you stand there, you just can see into the unit. When you stand beside the entry to the building, this unit, and this is why it's there, nobody want to buy it because usually when I show the units, I know that usually I would say females and people who live by themselves, they don't feel confident and comfortable having people look in their windows. And it's just bothering because it's there. So this unit was at the price that they thought is, which is fair, which is almost the same price that the city thinks. But the fact that it hasn't been sold for 10 months, it just shows it's not right. So I don't think I even have to say anything more than that, although I provide explanations. Because in our market, and I'll show you this. So if we're gonna go to the comparables, and I would say this, that comparable 2 and 3 have 2 bedrooms, and it's substantially different unit. You cannot compare 2 bedrooms to 1 bedroom, not because of the size, but because of the perceived value. It's like, it's 2 bedrooms always gonna be more expensive because people pay when they rent or when they buy per bedroom. Any ad you're gonna see the number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms is a main criteria for selection. Of course, it depends what kind of finishes and stuff, but 2 bedrooms is not comparable. But what I want to show you is even more interesting, and it's for whatever reason not provided in the list here. I will tell you this, that comparable number 1 was listed for 139.9 and sold for 139.9 in 31 days. And you don't see the number of days, but I see that. I'm not sure why you don't have it. Comparable number 2 was listed for 136 and sold for 130 in 25 days. Comparable number 3 was listed for 139.9 and sold for 138 in 3 days only. 3 days only. Okay, comparable number 4 listed for 142.9 and sold for 138 in 30 days. What I'm saying is, reasonably priced property, give or take a bit, gonna sell in about a month. If a property is on the market for 10 months, it's not it. It's just not possible. So I can keep going on comparables, but it's just way beyond that. It's not possible. And you can see they never dropped the price originally, and they've been there for 10 months until they decided to drop, and then until I bought and even with the dropped price, nobody purchased that. So how can we say that the value is above the price the property being on the market for 10 months not sold? For me, it's like I can't add anything to that because this is the best proof of value. Who pays for it? 10
Right.
months.
Okay, thank you. Are you? Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Questions?
Yes, I do. So you're saying that the inferior location of the property affects the assessed value and the sale price. Could you please give us the reason why you purchased this property?
Yes.
Given that
Of course.
location is inferior?
Because I purchased for $100,000.
Oh, I asked why.
Because I purchased for a cheap price.
Okay.
Everything have a price. When the price is 100,000, it's a reasonable price for that location, for those disadvantages, and it makes sense to pay.
Okay.
But not more.
And how much are you renting this property for?
13.
1,300?
And my condo fee is $620, and it's insane. And this is one of the reasons why many units do not sell. Is also that. This is why I asked you about, because condo fee is an important parameter. Choosing for 1 bedroom, 620. It's by the way, without the parking. I'm not getting that parking.
Okay. So you mentioned earlier that you have access to these listings, so you saw a comparable one was in fact original and had no renovations whatsoever, even though it sold in August 2020. Would you say that that is comparable to your property that had renovations and appears to not be an original condition?
So can you repeat us?
Sure. So comparable one, as you mentioned, you saw the listing, as you have access to the
Yeah.
listings on MLS. And it appears to me that it was original and had no renovations. Would you say that your property, unit 110, is comparable to that unit, even though your unit had some sort of renovations over the last years?
So I'll tell you again, my unit had fresh paint, no other renovations. I honestly don't remember the photos from comparable one. I can open it on my phone right now if needed, because I didn't concentrate on too much. But I would say that my unit is the main material, the flooring, the kitchen, the bathroom, it's all original. Paint was fresh paint.
Okay, that's all the questions that I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Press.
I have no questions at this time.
And Sred,
I have no further questions, thank you.
just one question for clarification, and I'm looking at your brief. I'm sorry you don't have page numbers on here, but I'm looking at the building. There's actually 2 shots of it, but when you drive in, so where the canopy is coming out. I guess if you're coming in.
On the left side, if you look at the building.
Yeah, so those are the way, so that is the apartment, those 2 windows right there.
So when anybody who is getting into the building, there's like a ramp, you see there.
Yeah.
So anybody who is getting in or out of the building pass by the windows, and imagine yourself in the evening when the lights are on inside.
Yeah, I see that. Interesting. All right. Okay, thank you.
That's it.
That's it. Thanks
So
for
much, ma'am.
coming today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation.
Madam Chair, I'll go take us offline.
Just 1 minute. Yeah, that's what I have to.
Yeah.
Seem to be.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So we also had items 2 and 3, 660 Redford Street on the docket this afternoon. But there was no briefs were provided, and the applicant also did not contact us or make an appearance this afternoon. And at that, we have heard all the items on the docket this afternoon, and this hearing is adjourned. And I thank you, Ms. Nichols and Joseph, for your presentations. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.